Let me welcome Professor Yuansong, and he's no stranger to Sri Lanka. In fact, I say that he has seen more Sri Lanka than I have. And you will realize why. From north to south to Rajaraja to everywhere. So that's, you will get the story. But his first visit to Moratuwa. So thank you, Professor Ruan, at very short notice for enabling a visitor talk to happen, and Professor Lalit to have the visitors at the Water Center, UNESCO Center. And I also welcome the delegates from the China Water and the team who had come to Sri Lanka on a different mission to look at the Beira Lake and the underground water treatment systems. Okay, to a speaker today, we say that Moratuwa, nobody should go around, visit this place and go out without saying something, imparting something from them to us. And we want our staff and students, postgraduates, research students to listen and bring this partnership together. So Professor Wei, as I said, is no stranger to Sri Lanka, but he has been spending now about 11 years. I believe you have also has a ceremonial stamp issued in his honor when the 10-year-long the support on the CKDu came into the 10th year, kind of like the ceremony. So Professor Wei, again, just to very briefly introduce, happy to say, as chemical engineer. So started as chemical engineer, then moving into the environmental engineering, water resources, and lots more, very much broadening on water as the center theme. So he comes us from Research Center for Eco-Environmental Sciences, RCS, which is a part of Chinese Academy of Sciences, one of the 140 plus institute. And this is the premier institute under Chinese Academy of Sciences for environmental. And I spent 3 months there, and I was very happy to see the amount of Sri Lankans, and which is actually Professor Wei's push theory, get things going. So they have just had about 50 plus PhDs and masters from Sri Lanka, all Sri Lankan students, and primarily looking at Sri Lankan issues as well, right? That's a very, very important thing to understand. So he has tremendously contributed to us, even though sometimes we may not know fully or understood fully. So that gives me pleasure in welcoming you to the thing. And I just finished with one of the comments of the former Vice Chancellor of University of Peradeniya, who said, after the 10 long years, because it's not easy to work for 10 years in Sri Lanka, even to give a donation, right? And so he had a comment saying, there is no way without way. So over to you, Professor Wei, to tell us about the topic what you did for the last 10, 11 years.
So first, I would like to greatly appreciate this Professor Archit to help us to invite me to come here. So this is my first time to visit the University of Moratuwa, even though I visited Sri Lanka 31st times this time. So I think I need to visit the University of Moratuwa earlier, but I try to find some way to connect with our University of Moratuwa. So we are very happy. So and the project Professor Archit worked together with me in the past 3 months. So we know we have lots of discussion, and we are very happy to work together. So, and I would like to say, so we can do something together, make something happening. So, and then that is I would like to tell. So this is our work with our Sri Lanka partners together. I just on behalf of both sides to say this words, yes. And firstly, I would like to introduce. So CKDu is not a single phenomenon and in Sri Lanka. So after this is CKDu in Sri Lanka, we also check in the global. So that is funny. It's a very good find. That is lots of things. especially near the equator. So this is the area, so near the tropic area. So that is why there is different. There's a lot of research about this, but South Asia and North America, the major region for this one. So as we know, there are many factors about the CKDu courses. There are too many things, but generally this can be grouped in four main groups factors, like the heat stress, stress labor, and dehydration. The agrochemicals like pesticides, insecticides, and fertilizers, and the heavy metals and excess trace elements, usage of polluted water and agricultural land, and others. So there are lots of things related to the environment factor and something like this one. So that is we know this one. Okay. So since then, as we know, and in Sri Lanka, your people first know. So this first reported in Sri Lanka in early of 1990s. So, and this is major prevalence in the Jai zone area. So, Frank said in the beginning, so what is the Jai zone? What is the what zone? So, because in our country, we didn't have such kind of words. So I discussed with my colleague, Sri Lanka partner, this is Jai zone, that according to the climate zone. So this one. So in the North Central province, and northwestern province, Ua, and eastern northern province, but especially the north central province. So there is often happened in the male farmers, farming community. So that is a big issue. And also at that moment, there is this number that I found from the literature from Sri Lanka side. So that is also number 7 cause of the national death. So that is a big issue. So your people told me that is a burning issue. So and so for me in the beginning, so in 2013 when I first know this topic, so I try to answer them what is the burning issue. Then we can answer them for this one. So as we know, there is lots of things at that moment. That is a big issue for people livelihood. And so WHO do the investigation and investigate CKDu in Sri Lanka. But unfortunately, they released this is the report in 2013. So, and no clear causes were found. But they mentioned the water major the major factors we should pay attention. But how to do this is the research. That is the biggest challenge. You know, I do some research related to the water treatment and wastewater treatment. So that is a new topic for me. And I also know at that moment, so we want to do this one for this one. So then that will start. So very good to start. So Dr. Valgoda. So and he took part in our training program in this November 2012. At that moment, I make some lectures related to the membrane technology for water treatment. So, and he sent me email about this CKDu issue and would like to discuss with me to do the joint research. I said, that's good, let me see and what we can happen. Because at that moment, lots of countries recommend use the RO technology for the drinking water in the CKDu affected areas. I told him maybe RO is not suitable for this area. Maybe nanofiltration is suitable. That is my beginning because I do this one. So, but we need to do the research because I don't, at that moment, I don't have the data and quality data, something like this. Just but we can do some research. Based on this, we have a proposal for this one. So following up, because at that moment, there's lots of communication by email, not like now. So, and we discuss and prepare proposal, and in March 2014, I finished a proposal to submit to our CAS to apply for the financial support. Unfortunately, at that moment, it was not approved. But this proposal let me deeply understand this issue. So, and in August, and it was my first visit to Sri Lanka. So I visited, this is the Vika Mova Matala. So with the Dr. Wagagoda guide us, and also our Mr. Chu Huaxin. At that time, he was the DDG of International Cooperation Bureau, CAS. A delegation goes there. So, and I see there are lots of things. This is in the CBO. There's some CKDu patients. We have lots of discussion and try to understand what's happening. So in the following September, at that moment, Chinese President Xi Jinping visited Sri Lanka in September. So our DDG Professor Min Yang, at that moment, come here and also visited then the Honorable Minister of Water Supply. So that is our start. Okay. So as we know, why there is the challenge burning issue, I think there are three issues together. One is the key issue for people livelihood. One is for the government promise they will solve it. And one is the research challenge. At that moment, until now for this one. So how to deal, this is the issue, because this is for the cooperation. You need to know. So because I do the research for the water, but the CKDu course, we cannot do that one. We need to coordinate with other the partners, the colleagues, institutes. So, but you know, this is the international cooperation. We need to do something. We need to send the MOU. So based on our idea, we would like to do in parallel. One way, we try to find the CKDu courses, but it will take time. And we also need to ask other the professionals, like the nephrology professional, to help us to do this work. And the other way, we would like to try to improve safe drinking water supply. So this will be quickly. So that's the idea. But how to do this one? So there will be something. The first, we would like to the framework. The framework just like MOU, just like the building. So you need the framework, and also we'll do the joint research and the capacity building, because when we come here, we need to cooperate with the local people, local scientists, local young talent. So, but how to do that? We need to improve the capacity building and do the joint research. And when you do this one, especially for the water, we need to do the technology spreading. That is our idea. So this is for this one. And then, so all things, you know, all things we need what kind of cooperation form. So the most important, all the framework, capacity building, and the joint research, and then so you need an entity to help us. Without this entity, we cannot do nothing. So then we would like to say it's possible to set up a joint center, the JRDC. That is the roadmap. Okay, so for this one, for this, because your people, Professor Archit, Professor Jakarta, and you also visited the JRDC. So this is very brief summarize our cooperation for the establishment of the JRDC. So the idea, Dr. Wada told us this is the key issue. Then the preparation for the MOU. And then, so you know, we are academic institute, we are not a finance agency. So if we want to set up the building, so we need to find the financial support. So we are very lucky. So we applied the China Grant Project. It was approved in December 2016. Since then, the construction started 2017. Then the finished construction in 2020. At that moment, it was in COVID pandemic. And it was handed over to Sri Lanka government in October 2021. So, and also based on our discussion, especially Sri Lanka said the requirement. So, say, and generally in China, the China grant project is finished, then just construction handover finished. No, then say we told the government, so we can do something, the innovation. Then they will have a three-party agreement. Ministry of Water Supply, Paladenia, and the CAS. What is the three-party agreement? We just joined manage and operation of the JRDC. For the CAS, we place the rule in the academic rule for the guidance. So that would be good for the future. So not only for construction handover, so we also need to look after for some time. So that is the three-party agreement. So then that is some milestone. So generally, for in China, if the MOU signed was witnessed by President, it means this is #1 project for this one. So we are very lucky. So this project was MOU was signed, was witnessed by both presidents in March 2015. So this year is also our 10th anniversary. So this is a milestone. Based on this, so then will be easy. And also this is a framework that we should do the implementation. How to do this? Then our institute sent this is the MOU, which is a water board, especially for the water supply for this one. And also, for the CKDu, related to the patient, we need to get support and help from Ministry of Health. Then we send the MOU between CAS and the Ministry of Health. So, and these all the three important MOU, but we also help and coordinate the MOU signed between National Science Foundation of China and National Science Foundation of Sri Lanka. So for the research. Okay, so we are also very happy. So our cooperation was listed in the joint statement in 2016 and 2023. It means this is national level cooperation, national level, country to country, government to government. So that's good. And this is the construction. So our CAS president visited here to take the foundation stone laying ceremony and the convention construction ceremony. Then this picture shows this one for this beautiful building. Okay, so this is for the three-party agreement for the GRDC. So I'm very happy. So I'm also very lucky. So 2 years ago, I came here on behalf of CAS, take part in the signing the ceremony for the three-party agreement. And this three-party agreement was signed by our CAS vice president. I come here on behalf of him to take part in the signing ceremony. So that is really wonderful. Okay, so that is the functions. The GRDC now is function, but it's still in the function, the need. All people, your government, your people to support him. That is the GRDC. Okay, so for the future achievement, as we know, there's lots of hypotheses of the CKDu. Just as said, there's 4 main groups because we are focused on the water. So how we can do this one? So just I told you before, so we do it in parallel in 2 ways. But first, we need to make the plan. So we use the action plan. So we work together with our coordinator, especially Professor Rohan Vilasola. At that moment, he worked in the University of Paladenia. We draft this is the CKDu action plan for this one. So we are also very happy. So you are president, he is excellent president, support us lots. So in March 2016, so in March 2016, we submit this proposal, hand over this proposal, action plan to his excellent president. So with this, we get under this guidance to carry out the cooperation for this one. Then we set up the 3 teams, and from CAS side, our institute it is a PI, and from the Sri Lanka side, Ministry of Water Supply it is a PI. So there are 3 teams. CKDu course studies water treatment and water resource for this one. Okay. So as we know, so for this CKD issue, now we need to understand the groundwater quality. This is in the tuber well, this dark well, this tuber well in CKD affect area. So this is my student Indica to the sampling. So we should understand. So what happening? This is the water quality in the NCP. So that we want to do something for this one. Okay. So we do lots of the investigation, field investigation in there. Dr. Madhu, Dr. Kaidas, Dr. Indica do lots of investigation. In the beginning, we small scale. At that moment, we don't have enough people, students, and then step by step expand. So finally, we cover the North Central Province, Annapurna and Polynanua. So we found there are some the water quality issue. This just mentioned some water quality parameter are over the limit of the Sri Lanka drinking water standards. So something like this one, the hardness, alkalinity, fluoride, sodium, in the dry season and the wet season. So, but we want to know what is the reason cause such kind of water quality. So we are very happy. So our colleague from the Institute for Geophysical and Geography, CAS, they told us that the geological structure that may impact the water quality, just like this one. So in the north side, and the rock is very slow, very slow. But in the south side, the rock is very deep. It means groundwater, the flow speed very quickly. So in the southern side, the groundwater they can flush to gems, like surface, something like that one. But in north, okay, the groundwater flow is very slow. It means they can stop some of the chemicals released into the groundwater. But in the past, in the north side, there are not a big population. So they use the shallow groundwater. But now the population increase, more, and also human capacity, that's something happening. So that is the reason. Geological structure is the main reason. And the human activity is also, but in other offshore the area like the Manna, there's some human activity like there's a nitrite, the concentration is very high due to the fertilizer. So okay, based on this, we also do some the dissolved organic matters in groundwater, because at that moment Sri Lanka side didn't do such kind of research. Why? Because the facility is not shortage. So this Dr. Madhu do something like this one. We found that DOM, there are different molecular weights. There are some blocks. They can treat with different sulfate and calcium, something this one. This will be very special. So that's we found for this one. So we also think this will be another factor we should pay more attention, because in the CKDu area, the just duct well and the tuber well, their treatment is very simple. So for the DOC, there's not too much realize this influence. And also at the same time, we also do some carry out the antibiotic resistance and microbiome community in groundwater in the CKDu area. So that is maybe the first paper in Sri Lanka related to this work. This one is the same as the first paper related to DOM in Sri Lanka groundwater. This is also the first. These both papers are awarded. Sri Lanka President Award for Science Research. So you can see there's something very interesting. So this in the groundwater, there's some the antibiotic resistance microcommunity. So because some people for treat the CKD or CKDu, the medicine, and also at we can use this one as the biomark for in the high risk area, and also dominate and acted as the inject ART in the groundwater. So something this one in the high CKD areas. So and also microbiome community and the MG mobile gene elements contribute most of the antibiotic resistance. So this is Titus and my colleague Jinya do this kind of work. So I hope in the future we can spread this technology to others like surface water and groundwater. Okay. And then water quality is the basic research. It can be used for the core study and also for the water treatment technology research. So which kind of for the understand the water factors related to the kidney. So we use an organoid-based method for assessing a toxicity of direct exposure of well water. Use this the kidney organoid model. So this is work was carried out by Professor Hu Jianying from Peking University. So this is very, very good for us to understand what the factors affect. So there's something you can see there. Based on this, there's a hardness, salinity, like sodium fluoride, bromide, significant higher than those in the control acids. This means this will be high toxic to the kidney. Use this as a model. Okay. And also this is something shows this one. So based on this is the research, so we can find that there's a combined exposure, high temperature, high calcium, fluoride, and sodium, and bromide led to the significantly higher incidence of the renal tubular injury in mice for this one. So that is the core study. And there's still, but this is water factors, but for the pathogenic mechanism, we are still unknown. They are still on the research. And then, so other way, so we do the developing the technologies for the improving safe drinking water supply. As we know, in the CKD area, there's a different water supply situation. Some CBO has the pipe distribution system. Some CBO don't have. How can we deal with this challenging? So we can use the household, the drinking water machine, and also decentralize the model. And because without the pipe distribution system, and the centralized model for this one, and this also for the surface water. So that is really good. So these demonstrations are very successful. So your people and the DNCWS say, so we would like to work together. Maybe we can set up a joint venture to split this technology to solve the key issue in Sri Lanka. There are over 4,000 CBOs in Sri Lanka. So that is the Sri Lanka local people give us the lecture, Sinhala letter for appreciation. So that is for the electrical dialysis, for the water purification. That is for centralized and the household. And our colleague, Professor Tian Binghui and Dr. Wang Yawei, to go to some of the name. So I cannot remember the name to allocate this kind of household the drinking water machine for this one. So this is very good. And also this is for the nanofiltration. This is from my team. So I just for the decentralized. So in the beginning, it was start in October 2018. So you can see there is the roof is increased because the more and more people go there to buy this is the drinking water. So, and 2 years ago, I went there to check that this is good or not so good. So we are very happy. So in the beginning, the selling not too much volume, only 800 liters per day, but now 10 times. So, and recently, last week, my colleague, Dr. Yavi, also goes there. The local people told us because your water is so good, they want to have more to spread other CBOs use this drinking digital water for this one. And so we based on this is technology. So we do this is the test. So if this water, purified water, so how about the impact on the nano functions? That is based on the test. So that will be recovered. So that is really good. As we know, so our Sri Lanka partners also mentioned. So with the water supply improved, the CKDu, the rate is decreased by 20%. Okay, so this ones. And at the same time, so we also do the water resource management because you know, Sri Lanka, the pipe-borne water supply is still ongoing. So it's roughly 60%. So your government say we should water for all and to meet the UN SDG 6, especially UN SDG 6.1. So water for all. But so how to protect you as a source water? How to management your water source? That's lots of things need to do. So we based on the modern sensing do some the water resource for this one, and you are whole island country, and also some Mahali River and something this one. So this is be good the tools for this work. And this morning, so we had a very good discussion with Professor Lalit. So Lalit's the research related to water resource. So we hope we can in the future we can have more and more cooperation with Professor Lali for this water resource the management. As we know, so in the north central province, there is a tank cascade system. This is very old, nearly 2,000 years. So in the past, it was used as for irrigation, but now in the climate change conditions, we can give the tank cascade more functions, not only for irrigation, but also flood prevention, water pollution control. So we compare two systems. One system with our tank cascade system, the water quality, groundwater water quality. One which is the tank cascade system. So our research mentions which the tank cascade system, groundwater quality is very good and also very stable. The water resource is also stable. This research work was carried out by my PhD student Indica. Now he works in the University of Pennsylvania. Okay, so and then that is for the CKDu finished, but just mentioned, Professor Archit mentioned. So at the same time, so I know in Sri Lanka, industrial park zone is very important for your industrialization. So, but as I know, there's some key industry also face lots of challenges for industrial wastewater treatment. So we select one, the RAP industrial wastewater. So we use the membrane bioreactor technology, uses the magnetic acid coagulation plus membrane bioreactor. So that is really good for pollution control for the lab industrial wastewater. So this is just the carried out by our Sri Lanka PhD student Isanka. So and also we found very interesting that there is some Sophomox process in this anaerobic membrane bioreactor. Okay, so and also as we know, so Bela Lake is like a heart of Colombo City, but unfortunately the water pollution is very serious. So 10 years ago when I came here, I think we need to do something together with Bela Lake. I told my Sri Lanka colleague. So I have a gym. So I want to cooperate Sri Lanka partners to restore the Bela Lake to clean, to make the Bela Lake clean. So then we do some research. This is my Sri Lanka the student Sanki. Now he is to carry out the field investigation. So that's why also would like to invite China Water Environment Group come here. Maybe in the future we can do something together. At the same time, as we know, in Sri Lanka, there are 15 rivers this is the top priority for the NDC National Determination Contribution. The Grand River is listed #1 because the Grand River provides 8% water resource for Colombo City. But unfortunately, in the downstream, there are lots of challenges for water quality, like the seawater intrusion and in the water season, there is some water pollution. As we know, so the disinfection, the consumption, like the chlorine, is increased very much based on the public the data. So your government, your water board also want to improve this one, as we know. So this moment in Sri Lanka, drinking water standards, there is no standard related to the disinfection byproducts. You use WHO guidelines. I hope in the future we can use, Sri Lanka can set up the standards for disinfection byproduct for drinking water in the future. That would be good to protect the human health. That is also my student do some research related to this one. Okay, so I'm very happy, you know. So in China, for something, if you want to sustainable, the human capacity building is always the priority. So our country focus on their integration, the education, research, and human capacity building together. So we are very happy in the past 10 years. So we have more than 50 Sri Lankan students awarded a scholarship for master and PhD studies, and also Pi Phi fellowship scholars 8. So we are very happy Professor Ajit was awarded the CAS Pi Phi fellowship, and there also Answer scholarships too. So this you can see that's really wonderful. And so this Friday morning we will have a ceremony for scholarship admission notice for Sri Lanka students in the GRDC. This year, there's 9 Sri Lanka students are awarded the scholarship for studying in our class. So there's 3 petitions. I hope the young Sri Lanka students from University of Monontoa to apply for the scholarship studying in our class. So and also I hope that your professors recommend the young staff scientists to apply for the Pi Phi scholarship and the Answer scholars. That would be good for exchange our idea, because this is really wonderful and for sustainable our cooperation. Yes, and that is the Pi Phi fellowships. So we are very happy. So this really happy. So Professor Ajit worked together with me in the past 3 months. So and we are do lots of things, traveling and meeting and discussion. So we hope, just like our Professor Lohan said, our cooperation is not short term, also not long term. We are lifetime cooperation. We hope so our cooperation can be sustainable, generation by generation. So because our China Sri Lanka friendship over 2,000 years. 2,000 years ago, our monk Fa Xian came here to learn Buddha from your side. And this time, so young people, Sri Lankan people, so can go to China to study. So we can learn each other and help each other. Yes. So we are also very happy. So Dr. Vargoda was elected the fellow of the National Academy of Science, just like our Professor Jakarta. So the congratulations you all. So that's really wonderful. Yes. So that is for the Dr. Vargoda was elected as the fellow. So there are some the nominations. There is research and water safety, the policy for Sri Lanka and the China-Sri Lanka, the cooperation. So we are very happy for this one. Yes. So, so for the CKDu course studies, only water is not enough. We need to work together with the health the sectors. So we work together with the first hospital, Peking University. So this hospital is the #1 in nephrology in China. So we get their help. So we do the training program for the nephrology for Sri Lanka, local people like the doctors, nurse, and technicians. This is 30 persons. So which is a great support from Ministry of Health. And also we do the epidemiology training program for the public officers in CKDu area, because if we want to do the CKDu post-study, we need to field investigation without these peoples. The help, we cannot do this one, so we can work together. And also same times, so we have the training for the water professionals. You can see water professionals not too much like the nephrology and the epidemiology, because for the water and sanitation program, training program, the quota is limited. Each year is on roughly 30%. For all the world. So for Sri Lanka, each year maybe 2 or 4, something like this one. But unfortunately, due to the COVID pandemic, they are just for online. So this time, so there's 2 staff also took part in 2 staff of GRDC took part in the training in my institute. Okay, so all of these projects are highly recognized by both countries, like CITICA and our ambassador, your ambassador. So for this, and so we are also very happy. So the first MOU was signed by our former president. This year he came to visit the GRDC, and in March our ambassador also visited the ceremony in GRDC for the 10th anniversary. So this Friday morning he will go there again. So we are really happy he can go there. Yes, and also in the past. So for this kind of work, we need financial support. One way we get from the Sri Lanka side for the government for the match to China grant project, and the other way we from China side the first important China grant project for this the GRDC building. So and the other for the joint research program in China, CAS. So this is continue. So this is Professor Mingyang and I are the core PI for this one, and also for the CKDu research project, National Science Foundation project, institutional donation by the company. So and for the water quality the test, we need some the online or the mobile the instrument for the test. So that is from the side for financial. Okay, so as we know the GRDC, that is the future sustainable development. So this is generally he is excellent president with the China. So they sent a joint statement between China and Sri Lanka. In this, so that is very clear. The 2 sides agreed to joint build a China-Sri Lanka community with a shared future. So they will 2 sides agreed to work closely with the climate change and also something science and technology education, something like this one. So we hope in the next 10 years, we hope we can have more and more successful cooperation. This is the tasks for the GRDC. So in the phase 1, we finish the establishment, but for future sustainable development, that is a big challenge. So we will do for together with all Sri Lanka partners. So as we know, based on the UN SDG 6 and 11 and 2, so we want to expand our the cooperation. In the beginning, we start CKDu tackling drinking water, but now the basin management, eco-industrial park, solid waste management, industrial wastewater treatment, better land restoration, air pollution control, and soil health for food. So lots of things. So we can do something together. So we hope, based on the JRDC, the platform, we can have more and more successful cooperation to improve the people's livelihood in Sri Lanka, to benefit our exchange, enhance our friendship for this one. So that is the action plan I just mentioned. So this is for the GRDC to service Sri Lanka, achieve SDG 6, to support for policymakers, industry, and research education, to be a platform in science technology cooperation between China and Sri Lanka for this one. So, and this is our CAS president mentioned with write the handwriting. So it means the water cultivation of friendship and scientific link together. And we best wish the China-Sri Lanka cooperation and have more and more achievement in the future. So that is I just briefly introduce our cooperation from the cause factors analysis to the solutions. So I will briefly introduce my group. So my group research focus on the regional watershed water pollution control. So including the wastewater treatment, reuse, waste disposal and resource utilization, watershed, ecological management and restoration, and also some the pollutant the control for this one. That is our for this one. And also my group a little bit huge. We have 11 staffs. So 11 staffs for this one. And so Dr. Yahweh, he helped me to work with Sri Lanka, and he will often stay here. And this is my students, over 36. There are lots of from the Sri Lanka. So this is, you can see for this one. And I will just brief introduce our research for the membrane technology and the CFD simulation and optimization. So for the membrane technology, we have materials and the module and the process and the falling mechanism. So we use this membrane technology for wastewater and also drinking water. So that we can do for this one. And also, for example, for the safety modeler, so we can use this simulation to improve the energy efficiency. So that's a different design and the membrane falling for this one. And also I do some membrane technology, because my technology was used to apply for the life support system for the astronaut. So like the urine treatment for this one. So that is we do something, and also for the industrial in wastewater, something and the animal wastewater, and the municipal wastewater for such kind of things. And also that's something the membrane falling use the CFD in simulation. You can do the simulation and prediction, and then based on this do the control for the membrane falling. And this one something just show you for this one, or just CFD simulation, because we can use the shaking. So just like for this one, we can to reduce or mitigate the membrane falling. This is the membrane falling mechanism for this one. Okay, the topic 2, resource utilization of solid waste. Generally, we focus on the animal manure, municipal solid waste, and the sewage sludge. So one way we use biological method, and the other way we try to recover some of the nutrients, and for this one, and also this is our do something for composting and anaerobic digestion. So for this one, so and that is when, for example, we also do some research from this lab scale to the demonstration scale for the sewage sludge reduction. Uses the microwave pretreatment of sludge for this one. That is including the sludge reduction, including the dewatering and sludge yield for this one. And so this is we use the CFD simulation modeling to simulate the composting by giant. The capacity is roughly 1,000 tons per day. So this is very successful, just like we use sonar to see there is temperature and control the aeration for this one. Okay, so that is also for the we can use this is the source loss as the inner source carbon for the total nitrogen remove, and this can be also done for the odor and greenhouse gas emission in the composting for the animal manure for this one. So that is lots of things for this wastewater treatment and in the animal farmers for this one, wastewater use animals for this one. And also for the river watershed management restoration. So in the past, I do some the North Canal river in Beijing. So this is a watershed is roughly 2,500 square kilometers. We use this technology to some that's integrated. I don't mention too much. So that is some of the source control for pollution, and in the mitigation pollution, and in the sink to improvement for this one. Okay, and also for the for the CSO, for example, CSO compactual overflow, the pollution control. That is something for the land use changes, and we can consider for especially for the river corridor in the urban area. You know, in China, in the urban area, the urban river becomes more and more important. How to master plan to this the river corridor. So this should balance the different requirements. So that is we do something for this one. We use the ecosystem service functions to make the decision for this one. And also for something we are in the biggest lake in China, Poyang Lake. This is in my hometown. So we want to know what is the reason cause the total phosphorus is not so good. We found the reason and tell our government and provide the solution how to reduce and control total phosphorus and the pollution. Okay, there's something for the multimedia pollutant migration and transformation. Like this is for the ARG. So how to there's lots of research related to the ARG, antibiotic resistant genes in water and land, soil and river, something like this one. But for us, we want to control the antibiotic resistant pollution. How to use one? We use the phage, because, for example, in the animal manure, it has lots of bacteria and also phages. We can use this phage to reduce the antibiotics, bacteria, and the ARG. So this is one way we can improve the biogas production, and the other way we can reduce this is the ARG pollution. So that is something to this one. And also lots of something for the methane mercury. You know, in the methane mercury is a very big problem. So how to control, how to do it, especially in the sewage anaerobic digestion. So we use this the technology by use the pre-treatment like thermolysis and also the advanced anaerobic digestion to reduce the methane mercury. And for composting, we also can use the aeration in some stage for this to reduce to control methane mercury formation. So that is some we do research. So that is all. So many thanks for you all, and also many thanks, Professor Ajit Dean and Professor Light. Thank you all. I'm very happy and also look forward the future the cooperation, and so we can work together and build a world and human and natural causes in harmony. Thanks you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. I think that's a lot. And of course, our usual situation is we do broadcast this in hybrid mode, and we save this and we add it to our digital collection.
Yes.
So the university will have it available online for anybody who has missed it or anything to go back and visit. So this is recorded. So it adds to our knowledge dissemination collection. So maybe I'll invite Professor Ron Gopur, Dean Faculty of Graduate Studies, to do the honors in small appreciation to Professor Wing.
First of all, I'd like to thank Professor Wei and the team for the talk as well as their inspirational work in Sri Lanka. I'd like to thank Professor Wei. I would like to invite you for a wonderful appreciation. Thank you very much. Thanks.